Hi, my name is Nathan. You're watching Nice at Dice, and today I'm talking about Civilization: A New Dawn. It's a board game adaptation of the popular computer game Sid Meier's Civilization, but I'm not talking about the game itself so much. I'm actually reviewing a product that I bought to use with this game, and the product is this. These are foam board trays that go inside of the game box to help organize all of the contents of the game and its expansion. So I got these from a seller on Etsy recently, and I wanted to kind of show you what these are, how they work, and give you my thoughts on how well they do the job they are intended to do. So I'm going to go ahead and give you kind of a sort of before picture of how the game is stored in the box right now. And then I'm going to organize it into these trays and give you sort of an after so you can see how the trays work. And then we'll come back here and I'll give you my thoughts on it. Okay, so let's take a look at how the game is organized now. Now this is with the game with its expansion. So you have these bars that just kind of sit on top. You've got rule books for the base game and the expansion. And then you have all the player pieces kind of just in these bags. And, bear in mind, this is this is how I've organized it since I bought it. This isn't necessarily how it's going to come out of the box. And then you have another set of player pieces, a dial, some cards, some other tokens that are kind of separated from the others. So each player has their pieces in two bags, right? That's how it's organized right now. So I try to organize my games as well as I can, but I'm not totally satisfied with this, so hence the insert. Here you've got some other tokens, the dice, a couple of other dials for the game, some other tokens, and some decks of cards. You've got like the large civilization cards for the different civilizations and their leaders. And then you've got another set of cards. You've got all of the tiles that go with the that are used to make up the map. And then you have this little organizer here with a bunch of different, like the resource tokens and so forth, those kinds of things. All right. So it's not the worst organization, but I'm hoping that the inserts here will make it a lot more convenient. So that is that. Just making sure I didn't. Oh, yep. Here we go. Here's another deck of cards over there. And that looks like it. All right. So that's how it is right now. Gonna take this out. Gonna put these other trays in there. Get it all organized. And I'll show you what that looks like. So now I've got everything set up in the new trays. Let me go ahead and walk you through how that works. Still got the rule books on top. You've got the focus bars that kind of sit across the top. It's worth noting that these focus bars, they sit across the top here, and the trays are designed in such a way that they have some spaces cut out here and here, over here and here, in order to make room for them. So that means it's very important that you put these trays back on the top like this, so that these will fit here. Okay, so that's one little nuance to it, but that's how that works. Over here you've got a spot for the different leader cards, and they sit right on top of the tiles that make up the board. You have these water tiles over here. They can just sit in here. So that's one thing that there isn't a specific spot for in the trays, is the water tiles. But that's fine, you use them when you're building the board anyway, so it kind of makes sense to keep them right tucked in there next to those board pieces. Okay, then you have the individual trays. So here you have the World Wonder cards, and you have the tiles for the World Wonders. Now, I do like that I don't sleeve my cards, but there's plenty of space in here, as you can see, if you were to sleeve your cards both with the width, the height, and the depth. there's plenty of space if you sleeved your cards. This would definitely hold sleeved cards. Everything in here would definitely hold the cards sleeved if you are into sleeving your cards. So I like that. This comes out, you can set it on your table, you'll have easy access to these tokens when and if you need them. You have this tray here where you have your fort tokens, you have your city-state tokens, you have your barbarian tokens, your natural wonder tokens, you have these diplomacy cards. These are the city-state diplomacy cards, I think is what they're called, if I remember correctly. And then you have your victory cards over there. So again, this can come out, it can sit on the table if you want and have easy access to those. And then this one you'll definitely want on the table. This has your trade tokens and your various resources, nicely organized. And then you have this little tray down here. So this tray is kind of multi-purpose. It's like where they threw everything extra. So you've got your dice, you've got your direction token, you've got your 2 different event dials, the one from the base game and the one from the expansion. And then it was a little unclear where to put these, but this seemed like a good enough place to throw them in. So these are the unique focus cards for the different leaders. All right, so we've got all that in there. So this is probably maybe my least favorite part of the organizer so far. It's basically just, it's like a little, it's a tray, it's like, it's kind of a hodgepodge of stuff in here. It's just everything we couldn't fit anywhere else gets thrown in there. All right, and then what you have left is these trays here, and these are basically the player trays. So there's 5 of them, 1 for each set of player pieces, and each of them has your focus cards, it has your tech dial, it has underneath it your diplomacy cards. It's got your control tokens, your government tokens, your cities, all your plastic pieces, and it's all nicely organized. So this is probably my favorite thing about this organizer, because here basically a player can choose a color, they just pull out their tray, and they've got everything they need right there, just that and their focus bar, and they're good to go. So I like that. It's very nice. So you've got that, and all 5 of them stack in there pretty easy, pretty nice, and everything else just goes back in where you had it. Makes it pretty quick to take everything apart, break it down, put it back when you're done. So this is foam board, obviously, and I've had a number of these different organizers. I've bought a lot that are wooden. I like the wooden ones. They usually come in like pieces and you put them together. And it's really easy. The wood snaps together nicely. You just, a little bit of glue here and there will do the trick. And then I have quite a few now that are plastic, usually 3D printed, and I like those a lot as well. I have one other foam board insert like this, and my only complaint against the foam board inserts really is that they're a pain to put together. So I really like that this one came pre-assembled. I didn't have to worry about putting it together. So that was great. The only other thing about them is they're not super sturdy. I mean, if you handle them gently like most people would, it's not a big deal. But, you know, they're not going to take much abuse at all. So you do have to be kind of careful with them. Like the player trays in particular, especially because you've got like all the plastic and everything kind of weighting this side down, you definitely want to pick it up from the center. You wouldn't want to pick it up from this side, you know, without being real careful. Like here I've got most of my hand under it, so that's fine. But like here I can just pick this up from this one spot in the middle, that's fine. Don't do that from over here, at least not repeatedly. So just something to be aware of. They're not super sturdy, but they are sturdy enough for what most people are going to be doing. Most people are going to be gentle enough with them. It won't be a problem, but just something to be aware of. Another thing to be aware of with this insert is there will not be enough room for these, which are the focus bars from the base game. They get replaced by these focus bars from the expansion. And there's really no convenient place to put these, which are also just some cards from the base game that get replaced with the expansion. That's not a big deal to me because I don't think I'll be playing this without using the expansion. That's the only reason you would need these, is if you wanted to play without the stuff that the expansion adds. So I'm just going to put these away in a little spot where I keep a lot of kind of extra game pieces. So they will be, you know, they'll be in storage, and that'll be fine. But just something to be aware of. There won't be anywhere for those in the box. So that's basically how these work. Let's go back up top, and I'll just give you some final thoughts on them. All right, so that was a look at a foam board insert for Civilization: A New Dawn and its expansion. If you watch the before and after, that gives you a pretty good idea of what it is, and probably gives you a good idea of how I feel about it. And there's a few little things about it that I wish were a little bit better. I don't really like that one tray that's just kind of like, we just threw everything that wouldn't fit anywhere else in here. I don't know if there could have been something better they could have done with that, but it's okay. It is what it is. But my favorite thing about it overall definitely is those player trays. I like how you put, you know, everything for that player into one spot. Real easy to pull those trays out, hand it to the player. They can set it on the table in front of them. They have easy access to everything. It's all organized. And then when you're cleaning up the game, you just put everything back into your tray where it goes, stick everything back in the box, you're good to go. I also like that it eliminated the need for all of these plastic bags and a couple of rubber bands. And this thing, actually I like these for organizing board games when you don't have a really cool solution like these organizers. But it's nice to, you know, kind of have one solution for everything in the box. So definitely give a thumbs up to this. I really liked it. I also want to give credit to the seller / creator of the product. They made an excellent product. It's well designed. I like that they have it pre-assembled for you. I didn't have any problems with them as far as, you know, they were really good about shipping on time. It was well packaged, etc. So this is a positive review for the seller as well. The seller, I think, was GameTamerInserts. Hopefully I got that right. In any case, there will be a link in the description of this video to where you can purchase this if you're interested in it. I don't make any money off of that. I'm not endorsed by them in any way. Just wanted to share my thoughts on their product. And again, my name is Nathan. This is Nice at Dice. Thank you so much for watching, and you enjoy the rest of your day.